This is a pre-purchase inspection. He did same customer, but a different car.
Yeah.
So he found another car and wanted it inspected. Is this one better or worse than the other one?
I mean, this one has AC, but the leak's pretty bad, so. And it's trailing pretty hard down there. You got a puddle, so probably something going on down there.
Those are common on this engine to leak. This one's bad. This is wet leaking. What I find is that the customers have already purchased the vehicle and then now they want it looked at. I would advise to do the opposite. Get it done before you buy the car. That way you know, because if you don't know what to look at when you're purchasing a used car and you buy it and then you bring it in and then we're like, okay, here's like a $10,000 quote, that's very unfortunate. Like I don't like doing that. That feels terrible. Any reputable shop, aftermarket shop or a private shop, private salesperson, if they're unwilling to bring the car before you buy it to a shop and have it inspected, I probably wouldn't buy that car because it seems like they'd be hiding something. Every shop will offer a pre-purchase inspection. And how it usually works is the buyer of the vehicle, the person interested in buying the car, they're the ones that pays for the inspection. But a lot of the times that inspection gets given to the purchaser, not the owner, because he didn't pay for it, right? You don't necessarily have to give your inspection that you paid for to the owner of the car. So then maybe you guys split it, right? So then both of you guys can have access to whatever the car needs. What we do is we basically go through the car bumper to bumper. Look, obviously we do a regular inspection on the engine, maintenance that it needs, whatever, but what we also do is we kind of test everything. We make sure wipers work, all the door locks, all the seat belts, all the window switches, the radio, the volume, everything, the window defrosters, the rear window defroster, trunks. I mean, we touch everything. Vents, we'll move vents around. We'll scan it, we'll see what faults it has. So we go a little crazy as far as inspection and testing. And we'll look at as much stuff as we can look at to give you the best picture of your vehicle. We're not the ones to say, don't buy it. That's not necessarily our position. And you can ask all the questions you want and we'll advise you as far as that goes. But it's ultimately your decision, your money, when you're buying the car or not. I just see a lot of the times that it's a post-purchase inspection. And we usually hurt people's feelings in that way because I don't know how much you would spend, but you drop $5,000 on a used car and then now you're getting a $10,000 quote. Like, that doesn't feel great. I had this one guy, an older guy, he was coming to the Benz Shop before I even worked here. If I remember correctly, I think he was also going to Banny when he kind of was operating out of his house. So he knew Banny for a long time. He had this, I think it was an SL, like a Roadster convertible. Benz Shop was taking care of it, and it got to the point where the vehicle, he didn't want it anymore. He wanted to an upgrade. So he went and got the same type of vehicle, but just newer. He brought it in. I think he had already bought it. We did a post-purchase inspection, found it needed to have, I don't know, like $10,000 worth of work needed. So he took it back to the place he bought it from, came back like the next week with a BMW, and then I was already here I was employed here at the time, so then I looked at it and I found $10,000 worth of work. And I heard through the grapevine that his wife was really upset at him and she made him take it back because of another car that needed $10,000 worth of work. So then he came back for the third visit with a different car, a Mercedes again, and that one was a lot better. It needed some stuff, but it wasn't $10,000. Luckily, he bought it from a place, like a reputable business, so he was able to give it back. That's not usually the case like private sales, so you gotta be very careful, private sales wise, because typically you don't have that luxury of being like, it's not what I thought or whatever. Lots of people don't want to do it that way, which I just find very odd. You're getting a health check of the car, like, is it worth buying? You know what I mean? And you can clearly see based upon what we find and what we estimate, I think the answer would be obvious to you. In that moment, you're looking at whatever amount of quote. Is it a couple $100 quote or is it a couple $1,000 quote, right? Or it can give you some room to negotiate. and if the other person's unwilling, then you know maybe that's not the car. Or you just, now you understand what you bought, right? So it's not a mystery. So then say something happens, you're like, uh-oh, a brake light come on, you're like, well, they told me the pads were gonna be due soon, and you don't have any, like, it's not a freak out moment or whatever, where you don't feel like you can't drive the car and you tow it and you find out that it wasn't that big of a deal, right? But because of the inspection that you had gotten done, you know, you can be very comfortable with it. I find that people don't wanna do the pre-purchase. It's very odd. I've definitely had handfuls of it, and we've saved people because they didn't buy the car that was not what was said in the posting or the listing or whatever the case is. It's just a one-time inspection fee. You pay honestly, I don't even know what we charge, but I would assume it's around $180. Just because I've seen it so many times. Like I would do it and have an inspection, and I wouldn't do it myself because I would look biased or whatever. I'd get it inspected, and I would just put that in the car.
You always want to make sure to check the DOT on the tires. Like 2017, technically, if any tires are older than 6 years, they're deemed to be unsafe to drive. Even if they have tread, like these have 4 millimeters of tread, which isn't terrible. They're definitely getting low, but we can't say they're safe to drive on just because they're 6 years old. Technically, it could have a blowout. They're just like, they kind of dry rot, as you see, like there's just all these cracks inside of here. It's just the manufacturer will say after 6 years the tire's unsafe to drive. These drive shafts, these rubber flex discs, just to make sure they don't have any severe cracking. There's always one at the front and one at the rear. Just because if it has any severe cracking and say it were to let go, this thing spins at average like 3,000 RPM going down the road. That comes off and it's gonna come down. It's a bad day. You don't want to be in the car when that happens or near it.
That's old serpentine belt. We could say it lost a belt in its life. Not unfixable, just not really well maintained, I'd say. It might have found a couple belts in its life. I mean, I definitely see those magnets, those cam magnets for sure. Because like this makes me nervous, that line right there. Like this thing will just continue to throw belts if you don't fix the oil leak. Mounts, your engine mounts are popped. You know, we got pictures, right? So he can see all the pictures of the bottom. You know, we all don't have lifts at our house, so he can't lift it up and see it like this. I like when I get to show people their underneath their car. I've probably never seen it underneath their car. Is he? Yeah, if he's here, let's get him then. How you doing? I'm Tyler.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay, so there's a big oil leak, all right? Okay. And we just wanted to show you. Did you purchase this already?
No.
Not. Okay, good. So it's covered in oil, okay? But we definitely know there's cam magnets and valve covers. So there's two separate things up top on the top of the motor that are leaking down.
Gotcha.
And then it's just running out. The oil leak it damages the suspension rubber. Okay. I wouldn't fix the suspension until you fix the oil leaks, because otherwise we'll put new bushings in here and the oil will destroy them right away, right? Gotcha. This, right? So this is a sign that it's lost a belt in its life. So the serpentine belt, because of oil, it swelled up and it threw it off, right? Gotcha. So they put a new belt on, right? But this is that'll continue to like the belt's actually
the same thing's gonna happen,
right?
Gotcha.
So if we fix all the oil leaks and we put a new serpentine belt on,
then it's
you're good, right? And the motor mounts are collapsed and they're leaking too. I was looking at the rest of it outside of the oil leak. It's not bad, man. I would totally expect a seep like this out of the differential, right? But absolutely correctable. But I would low prioritize this, way down. Let's do that stuff, right? Okay. We're gonna put a lot of stuff up in a quote, but we'll say this is number one, this is number two, and do these like now. But the other whatever, we'll say you have time, or whatever. Yeah. These that run back here, your valve covers. There's a gasket here, so these are leaking, but also this is a solenoid that changes the intake camshaft timing. Gotcha. Okay, but this is definitely one of the culprits. As the engine runs, it's just pouring oil. It's not pouring oil out, but it's spilling oil out of it, right? Reseal these guys and replace the gasket, and then we'll clean the whole thing off. I wanted you to see that because we don't always have the customer here. I like when you could see it too.
It's a pre-purchase inspection, so it's a little different than our average ones. We just make sure to get all the categories, take pictures and document it. And we'll go in here and we'll write what it needs, and then after we're done with this, we'll go to the computer and start looking up parts and building the quote and see how much time we're gonna need to do the repair.